So just have space to move around, have a blanket, have a couple blocks. We'll begin lying down on our backs. So if you want to fold the blanket, do any of you have any kind of issues or some stuff I should know about, especially with shoulders? We're going to do some arm work in a little bit with some shoulders. So if that's the case, let me know and I'll look at your practice. That's why I have the two screens going on. And if not, all good. Modify according to your needs and ability. You can take a detour off my sequence, do something intuitive if it's not making sense. That's all good. And if you have any questions during the practice, it's a small group. Feel free to unmute yourself. I'm happy to interact. That's the intention and purpose behind the Zoom, as opposed to the Facebook Live where I don't know anyone behind the screen or I can't see them. Yeah. Okay. All right. So fold the blanket up in half, like the shoulder stand blanket, and then also another half. So it's just a narrow blanket, and have some blocks, preferably foam, if that's possible, nearby. Okay? And then you're gonna rest with your bum, hips, pelvis on the blanket supports. It's like a mini bridge pose, mini setu bandha. Just take a few moments to rest here, arms out to the side. Knees can be apart, knees can be moving in so towards internal rotation a little bit if that feels comfortable. Close your eyes for a few moments. If you want to put one hand on chest, one hand on abdomen, it's a nice way to just kind of make contact with the movement of the diaphragm as you breathe. Smooth, soft, long inhalation. Smooth, even, complete exhalation. Just allowing for the mind to arrive. Generally, there's a little bit of a latency, body present and mind maybe elsewhere. So just transition from whatever is pending in the day ahead for you, or the week that's passing. Center yourself here. If there's any intention for your practice, a mindset, an attitude you wish to cultivate and sort of thread through the day, feel free to invite that here, or maybe something you want to let go of, or maybe neither, and you just want to have gratitude to be present, have the good fortune to have space, time to be with your body, be with your breath. All right, if the eyes were closed, feel free to open them. Separate the knees out. Adjust the blanket throughout as you need so it doesn't bother the back. Rather, it creates some traction for the lower back and allows for the lower back, the spine to go into slight flexion. Okay, so extension would be to move your tailbone down, let your ribs flare out, chest open. So that would be extension of the spine, anterior tilt of the pelvis. And now tuck your tailbone so you feel the lower back is rounding, the ribs are drawing back, the navel is coming back. So when I say go for bias more towards flexion, have a little bit more of a tucked tailbone position, tucked pelvis position. Hug one knee in towards your chest. I'm going for the right knee here. Okay, circle the ankle, foot around. Few rounds one direction, and then switch direction of the ankle, foot circle. Let go, let that foot down, opposite leg. So you're getting a little squeeze for the hip flexion, a little squeeze of the thigh in towards the chest, knee flexion, hip flexion, and some ankle rotation. Generally, we tend to go fast with the rotation, so just notice the speed, see if you can slow it down a little bit. Switch the direction. If you want to make it interesting, make each circle a little slower and slower, bigger and smoother. All right, let go. Hold the right knee again. Extend the left leg out and let it drop to the ground. You're probably going to go towards an anterior tilt. Right? The pelvis, the tailbone moves down. The lower back begins to arch. All good. Lift the foot, the straight leg off the ground, bring the bent knee in towards your chest, and feel the lower back get long and feel more rounded. And so the foot, the straight leg is off the ground. Then the straight leg, take it out to the side. As far out as it feels comfortable, the leg can externally rotate, the foot can point out or even down. Then go back towards the midline and then cross the midline. You may even tip to the right side slightly. The hip can come off. Cross the midline as much as you can. And then go back and forth, letting your hips rock with the movement. You can use the back of the arm or elbow to balance here to keep you from tipping completely over. So swinging with the leg. And then come back to center, bend the knees, feet flat, adjust the blanket. You'll probably, if you're like me, maybe you're starting to move back towards your head. Hug the other knee in, extend the leg out. Let the leg drop to the ground for a moment. And then lift the foot leg up, bend the knee that's bent, bring it further into the chest. And my leg is like a good foot, almost a foot off the ground, allowing for the tailbone to lengthen away towards the heel bone. Then take the leg out to the side, let it turn out, toes point out or even down. Then come back towards the midline, crossing the midline as far out to the side as you can. And then over to the side, cross the midline. When it goes to the midline, there's a little bit of a dip. And out to the side, there's a little bit of a lift. So dip, lift, dip, lift. Great. Then come back, feet down, feet apart. Press the feet into the ground, press the arms. If you want to make fists, sure. Palms, great, whatever you like. Tuck the tailbone, lift the hips, curl yourself off the ground. And then tuck the tail in, so stay rounded as you come down slowly, as if you're trying to paste the back ribs, the low back, waist, hips, buttocks down. We'll do it again. Peel yourself off the ground, so go slowly. Hips up, slowly curl lower back off the floor, back ribs onto shoulder blades. Raise your arms up overhead, so you're on the shoulders, reaching with the arms back. Then arms up, arms down, hands down. Great. All right, now let's do like this. So many things, so many directions. I was practicing for an hour and a half for an hour or 75-minute class. So let's see what all we can get in. Let your legs fall to the right side. So the left hip will lift up, the left leg is internally rotated, right leg is externally rotated. Should feel pretty easy, gentle. Then cross over opposite side. We're going to do it again. This time option 2, bottom foot, right foot over left knee and thigh. So you're kind of hooking it there. There should be no pain for that knee or either knee. If that's the case, just kind of opt out right now. Repeat the first thing. Foot on the ground. Otherwise, let the foot against the knee. Create some traction for that thigh. See if you can have a slight tuck of the tailbone in. Then let go of the foot underneath. Roll over left side, left foot over bottom of the right thigh, outside the knee. A gentle pressure to create some traction for the thigh away from the waist. And then let go, come back to center. Raise your heels up, push the ball mounds of the feet down. And now your choice if you want to curl up off the ground or just thrust the entire pelvis and back, chest off the ground. Go for it. Arms up, palms face each other. Take the arms wide and back overhead. Maybe the thumb tips can touch the ground. Arms up, lower the arms, lower the heels, lower the hips down. All right, now we're going to rock a little side to side. Okay, so hopefully the blanket is long enough for you to feel that you can roll side to side. Bend the knees. First, before we rock, just move the blanket up a little bit. Bend the knees, hold your outer feet, inner foot, happy baby-like position. Then keep holding on to, or in fact, rock a little side to side, then we'll do something. So just rock a little, massage out that lower back region against the pressure or support of the blanket. Then come back to center. Keep holding on to your right foot, let go of your left, take the left arm back, right leg down, and minimize a spinal extension here. So notice if you kind of arch the back here, Lift the foot and arm up and see if you can draw the navel in, round your back a little bit. Then switch, catch that foot, straighten out the opposite leg and arm. You'll probably go into some spinal extension naturally, but then see if you can control that, raise the arm and foot off the ground, tuck the tail in, have a rounded back. One more time, bend, catch, maybe go for the inner foot, heel. If you want to lift your head up, you can lift your head up. And then switch, keeping the head lifted or down. If the head weighs a lot, generally it's a lot for the neck, you can put the head down. And then come back, feet down on the ground, Baddha Konasana position or butterfly shaped position. Press the feet in, lift your hips up, take the hands to the thighs and just traction that skin or thigh flesh towards the knees. You'll feel your outer buttocks gripping here. See if you can consciously, actively engage outer buttocks, hips region, and then hips down. All right, now you're gonna go like this, okay? So right elbow to right knee, okay? Left arm, left leg away. In fact, hook the elbow inside the knee and then roll over to your left side. See if you can keep the foot off the ground, or the leg off the ground. Arm can be on the ground, head can be on the arm, or lift it. Then roll over, switch arm, switch, rolling to the right side. So right arm is out kind of at a diagonal, right leg can be at a diagonal. Keep the contact of the elbow to knee and thigh. Come back, switch. This time, option 2, catch the foot. Okay? Head can be on the ground, you can support the head, okay, whatever you like, and then see if you can straighten the leg, any amount. Good, Lana, that looks great. Then bend, come back, switch, over to the right, then catch outer foot, then see, balance here. So I have my right leg slightly forward and arm forward. That keeps me from tipping. Okay, so it's not quite Anantasana position where you're kind of aligned on the edge of the mat. It's a little bit angled forward. Bend, release, come back. Okay. All right, now find, let's do like this. Cross your leg figure 4 shape. Let the right knee and thigh gently move like this. And then let the knees, thighs fall to the left. Take your left hand to the inner thigh, right arm up and over. You can lift your head, turn your head, and look towards that hand behind you. Hopefully that feels good for your neck and the rest of the body. If it doesn't, then just look towards the ceiling. Then come up, switch, cross the figure 4 shape. Let me know if this bothers any of your knees, because if it doesn't, I'll continue without showing any modification because there's no one in the room who needs to modify. Okay, so if it doesn't bother the knees, great. If it does, the option would be to hook behind the knee. Not quite the same, but you still get some rotation and extension. All right, then let the knees fall to the right through this figure 4. Right hand inside the thigh. I've got a dog in the room here. Hello, dog. Well, that's a pleasant surprise. This is a first, just to be honest with you. She never comes in, so it's hard for me to tell her to get out. Either, what are you doing here? This is the first time you've ever come to my live class. All right, come back to center. Okay, find your blocks now. I'm sorry, friends. I have a hard time kicking this one out. The other one, he's a naughty one. She's the nice one. Okay, we got the feet on the blocks now. You can still have blanket support. I know it's a little hard to see me. I'm sorry, but I hope you enjoy the view of the dog. What's going on? All right. Okay. All right. Feet down. Lift your hips up. So tall bridge pose now with the feet lifted. And then feet down. Okay. I'm sorry, buttocks down. Press the feet. Raise the hips. Raise your arms up. So arms up, arms down. Now do like this. When you lift your buttocks up, can you reach one arm underneath and towards the opposite opposite foot or ankle. Left arm overhead, right hand reaching towards left foot. So there's a little bit of a turning in this back extension. And then lower down, lift up, switch. So if you can lift up and tuck this arm under, great. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, but the head is turned, the chest is turned. Just make sure it's not bothering your neck. And then come back. Now cross the leg again. The foot that's on the block, put it on the ground for a moment, and just bring the knee in towards your chest, and then straighten the leg out, keeping this figure four shape. Raise the leg up, bend the knee, straighten the leg, lower down. If you want to make it a little bit more core activated, you can bring your elbows to knee and foot. As the leg goes away, arms go away. You want to bend, join your palms together. And you can bring elbows to shin, reach back, come up. Stay on this side unless you need to take a rest. Okay. Now, C, put your arms on the ground, make fists, so there's some tension through the arm, then lift your hips up through this figure four shape, one-legged bridge pose. Use the advantage, take advantage of the ankle against knee or thigh to get the pelvis open. Press the arms down, lift your chest. And then hips down, uncross, recross, left foot over right knee. Then foot down on the ground. Don't mind the sound either. It's just my luck, you know. The work around farm town here just started. Closing out the harvest, I guess, so they're doing some work around the house. All right, so lift the foot up, straighten the leg, and then straight leg with this figure four shape coming down. Try to stay in that rounded back position as best as possible. You can lift your head up, okay? One option like this. You can bring the palms together as you bend the knee. Try to bring elbows towards the shin, towards the leg. Straighten the arms out behind you. Lower the leg down. Bend, join, extend, and come back. Foot on the block. Okay. Press the foot down. Use your arms here. Press down and lift up. Press with the arms down. Press with the foot down. Take advantage of ankle crossed over knee or thigh, lifting the pelvis up. And then lowering down. Let go of that. Find your few more things I wanted to show. So part of the class, a majority of it's going to be on the floor. I hope that's okay. I'm a big fan of floor lying, not quite restorative, but not quite loaded when we're on hands and feet. Yeah. So we're going to continue on the floor. I hope it's okay with you. More stuff I wanted to do here. So put the block between the feet for Baddha Konasana. So wide Baddha Konasana. Press the soles of the feet to the block. Right. Should feel nice. Again, observe or feel that outer buttock, outer hip region. Can you tuck the buttocks in slightly? Do the opposite, untuck. So tailbone down, ribs out, so anterior tilt. That is one position to be in. Nothing wrong with that. Press the feet in and tuck the tailbone off the ground slightly without the knees coming up. Then lift the block with the feet up. Lift your head up. Bring elbows towards knees. Then down, feet down, just hugging the block in, knees up. All right, there's more to that, but I get carried away. Find your two blocks, remove this blanket support just off to the side, more core. Okay, so think of the core as a stabilizer for relationship between upper body and lower body. Of course, we can think of core just like abdominals, whatever, abs, all that, but also think of your whole core, your entire being stabilized and the relationship between upper body and lower body. So I'm going to just turn to the side a little bit. The blocks are stacked. You can use one block if you want, of course, like this too, okay? But I'm stacking two blocks, okay? Bending the elbows, palms together position, okay? Then tucking the chin, lifting the head off the ground. Press the elbows into the blocks, press the knees into the blocks. If the head gets tired, just use your fingers and just gently support the back of the head if the neck gets tired. Otherwise, palms in front. And then head down. Do it again. Okay. So if you want to keep the head down, it's going to be just as much work, but just a little less intense for the neck. Okay, so you can keep your head down. Otherwise, I'm just going to turn this way because I know it's tricky to see with the dog's bum in your face there. But I have such a hard time telling her to get out. She's never done this before, so it's interesting. She's here. Okay. She's got such a sad face. Hope everything's all right. All right, so here we go. So elbows into blocks, knees into blocks, press there and go for that rounded, flexed bias towards that flexion of the spine. Okay. And then with the head down or lifted, try to straighten your arms. They're not going to fully straighten, but increase the pressure of elbows to blocks. Bring the thumbs towards your face. Bring the thumbs away from the face. Thumbs towards your face. Stay here, and now try to straighten your knees any amount. It doesn't have to go to full extension, but keep the pressure of the elbows into the blocks. Bend the knees. Option to lift your head up. Press the elbows into the blocks. Try to straighten the legs. Keep the elbows pressing in. Bend the knees. Straighten the arms any amount, and then try to straighten the legs any amount. And then bend. Whoo. Blocks down for a moment. Underneath the feet as an option. Tall bridge. Arms up. Overhead. And arms down. So doing this twisted bridge again, I just want to show it's nice for the shoulder. We can do it without the blocks first. So the idea is to, let's do like this. So bring your right foot underneath your left foot, and then see if you can roll onto your right shoulder if that doesn't bother anyone. Okay, so you're just allowing for the shoulder to have some weight, and then come back and do it again. So you roll onto the right, hips lift, chest turns, reach with the left arm across, overhead, come down, okay, then switch. So you're crossing, rolling over, left arm underneath, right arm over. So as long as it doesn't hurt the head or neck or shoulders, come down, okay, do it again. Use the hooking of the feet, create pressure there, tension there. Reach back, come down. Okay, a little bit more with the core. Okay, this is fun. All right, so you're holding the blocks. Okay. Cross the arms like this now. Okay. So you're gonna press the forearms, any amount that can reach the blocks here. And tuck your chin, lift your head. And now let the blocks, let everything move to the side, to the right. Detach your left arm away as a counterweight. Press the arm into the blocks, knee into the blocks. Come back, attach arm, detach arm, turn to the side. See if you can not go into spinal extension here. Option 2, detach, same arm, same leg. Attach arm and leg to the blocks. Detach, keep the block pressure, knee to thigh, or knee to a block, thigh to block. Come back, come down. Rest here for a moment. Are you feeling that? Yeah? Let me know if you have a question, Carla. You look like you were approaching the screen there. Okay, so now we're gonna do so I know I had the blanket earlier. It does help a little bit, but you don't have to have the blanket. Okay, so when you cross the legs like this, okay, can you reach with your left hand to the foot underneath, okay, and create this back bend lying on your side? Okay, so hips can be off the ground, pelvis in. So you're catching the foot underneath behind you. I'll show from other side. Come over, cross, figure 4, catch, foot, lift hip, reach with the arm, move the knee that's up, back, the foot that's behind, pull it in, turn your chest. Then come back, okay. Let go. Okay. So lots of different ways to play with that. If that was a little intense like this, you can just do Baddha Konasana. Okay, let's do like this. Roll over to the side, cross, come up under your arm. So I'm on my left side now, doesn't matter. Lift your hips up, okay. Reach with the top arm, come down, push off the bottom arm. So this is the shoulder work here. So push off the bottom arm, push off the bottom knee, shin. Use the hooking of the foot to create more spread for the knees and pelvis. Reach with the top arm over, bend, come down, take the arm out, roll on your back. So from Baddha Konasana, sneak your right foot underneath the left, roll over to the side, push up, then do a couple shoulder shrugs. So you prepare the shoulder to lift up, pressing off the bottom arm elbow, hip up, top arm up, overhead, down, lower, push, lift, extend, and then come down. Okay, let's just be done with the floor for now. There's more floor work. It could be the whole class, but let's just be done with that for now. Okay, so roll on your back and come into hands and knees position. Okay, so cross the legs. I had no idea I was going to have a guest appearance the whole class. All right, so crossing the legs, come forward, come onto hands and knees. All right, tabletop position. Okay, so spread your fingers underneath. All right, Eidu, we got some people in the classroom. What are you doing? Can you be over here? Over here more. Yeah, over here. All right, hands and knees. Here we go. All right, so go for the spinal extension, so that arching your back, sometimes called cow pose. Push the ground away, round your back, sometimes called cat pose. So arch, round, okay. And now come to a more or less neutral position. Okay? Tuck the tailbone slightly in, so you're not locking out the spine, but you're just minimizing movement at the spine, so we can move at the scapula, shoulder blades. Push the ground away, spread your shoulders, then chest to the ground without bending your elbows, shoulder blades in towards each other. Push, spread, and then retract, shoulder blades squeezing in. Next time you push, spread the shoulders, move your shoulder blades towards your ears. Then chest to the ground, shoulder blades away from the ears. Push the ground away. Shoulder blades to the ears, chest to the ground, shoulder blades away from the ears. And just notice if the elbows are bending or if the back is bending, minimize or eliminate spine bending right now and maximize expression at the scapula. Reverse direction, so opposite direction of the shoulder circles. Try to lock your gaze somewhere so that way the head isn't as much moving unless you want it to move, but just know that you have the control to independently move the shoulders. Okay, now we'll do that more or less on our forearms. I'm gonna come out of the screen a little bit because of my dear dog here. So fingertips interlocked, forearms on the ground. Okay. Do a couple rounds of cat and cows here, pushing the ground away. Spread your chest or round your back, and then pull the mat under, spreading your chest, arching your back. Push, round, pull, extend. And then you can do shoulder circles here, okay, without tilting in the pelvis or arching in the back. Okay? Or you can try with straight legs. Okay? It's a little bit harder, so just be careful or just be mindful. Yeah? Full of care. That's what careful is, full of care. Okay, so shoulder circles, pushing with the forearms, elbows, reverse direction. Okay? And then bend the knees, straighten out the arms, and let's take a downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog. Straighten out the arms, push the ground with the hands down and forward. Move your chest back. Lift your heels up, everyone. Lift your hips up, buttocks up. Stretch out the backs of the legs. And then bend the knees, knees down. Okay, come back. If you can sit in this kind of position with the toes tucked under, knees apart, great. Okay. Or knees together, feet flat, whatever you like. Okay, let's take care of the wrists a little bit. We'll load the wrists a little more. So curl your fingers, drop your knuckles down, pull your knuckles in towards your armpits. Elbows are straight, and you're pulling with some intensity to stretch the top side of the arms, forearms. And rotate your arms out. Open up the hands, fingertips pointing down, fingertips pulling back towards your ribs. Curl your fingers, make the fists without bending the elbows, squeeze knuckles in towards your shoulders. Roll the arms in, open up the hands, fingers pointing up, arms out to the side. Push the sides of the room away with the heels of the hand. Pull your fingertips back towards your face. Curl your fingers, knuckles down, knuckles in towards the armpits. Pull hard. Rotate arms out, open up the hands, fingers pointing down, but pull the fingernails back towards your ribs. Curl the fingers, squeeze knuckles towards the shoulders. Roll the arms in, hands up, forward. Hands pointing down, so hands in flexion, arms in flexion. Forward, hands in extension, arms in extension. Flexion, extension. Flexion, extension. Now we'll do a malasana-like position. So if you want to have some support, well, let me just see. I like to give modifications, but not to an empty person in the room. So can all of you sit comfortably in some kind of malasana? Looks like it. Great. So for those that watching maybe, adjust as you need, yeah? So you can put some blanket support underneath. So press the palms in, knees to the inner, elbows to the inner knees, knees into the outer elbows. Create tension there to create the spread for the pelvis and the lift for the chest. So it's just a variation of the squat malasana. Then left hand down, okay. Right arm up, back behind you, turn the arm in, so it's internally rotated, overhead, forward and down. Right hand down, left arm up, arm goes back, internally rotate, up, forward. Now we're going to straighten the legs. So if you're not used to legs externally rotated for Uttanasana, just do your regular Uttanasana. If you can straighten the legs turned out, feels okay for your back, go for it. And then at some point, point the toes forward for wide leg Uttanasana, folding forward. Let's do that malasana again, but find a block. I know it's narrow. You could use a bolster, of course, but see if you can situate, okay, heels. You just perch yourself up here, so it's a little bit more height. We'll do the arm rotation again. Okay, so the arm circle through the rotation. So I'm mirroring you now or doing my best. Right hand down, left arm comes up. Turn your chest and head with the arm. So you're taking the arm through a circle, and through the circle, spin your arm bone, especially when it's behind you. Rotate internally. Okay. Then come back, externally rotate, bring the arm forward, bring the hand down. Right arm, bring it across the midline, reach up, turn your chest, head, arm, rotate internally. So when it's behind you, try not to bend the wrist or the elbow, but roll it in. And then lift up, rotate out, forward. And again, careful with legs turned. By careful, I'm just saying, like, if you're not used to it, right? Not like it's dangerous or something. You're just not used to it. Just be mindful. Straightening the legs out. Okay. Then point the toes forward. The heels are lifted. You can use the other block for the hands if it's too much of a forward fold. Otherwise, heels lifted, Uttanasana. Toes get pointing forward. And then step off the blocks. Open up your blanket. I'm just going to be to the side, not centered. Okay, so no worries. Dog. All right, so now, okay, we're going to do a little bit of interesting movement. So just play with it. You don't have to do it. There's no right way to do it. Okay, so we're just going to move malasana side to side. So you're just going to be in malasana, and then you're just going to allow for one knee to come down like this, and then lift that knee up, turn it out, other knee comes down. You might have to dance with the feet apart a little bit. I like to have the assistance of a block in between, so I have more height. Push, lift, lower down. Okay. So you can even sit on that back leg heel. Push with the block, hands on the floor, lift up through the malasana, switch, lower down. See if you can If that's okay for the knee, go for it. Forward, push, lift. So you're coming upright. You can even add a twist here. Oh, so forward, push, through the malasana, rotate. Okay. One arm in, other arm out. Continue like this. Okay. You could try a jump. So you have to configure the brain, the movement puzzle. How can I jump from this position and land in the other, and then come upright? Good, Vanessa. Good. Okay, Lana, all of you did it. Great. So go forward, press down, push off the ground, and jump. And instead of, you can sit and then launch yourself upright, like a Parigasana prep, like the half knee bent Parigasana position. Then there's squat, push, jump. Okay. Now, pass this block. So I'm on the back foot, top of the foot down. Pass this block underneath. Of course, you could use the other block. Okay. Take the block anywhere to that foot behind you. The arm in front, take it up, over, and back. So you feel this spread across the pelvis. Press that back shin down. Move your buttocks in. Too much for the head. Hold your head. Just stretch with the elbow. And come back. Pass the block underneath. Push. Switch. Pass the block underneath. I've flipped. You can be on the toes tucked. See if that feels good. I'm on the foot flat. Top of the foot flat. If you don't want to use the block second time, you can have the hand on the foot or hand on the ground. Take the arm up. Take the pelvis and buttocks forward. Okay, one more time. So switch. Now, if you want to, okay, reach with the hand of the bent leg in front towards the back heel. So I'm going to show from this view. Can you reach to the heel with the toes tucked or foot flat? I think the toes tucked is easier. Front arm, okay. It's like it's trying to chop this line right here. There's this chopping up, over, and back. Very interesting back bend, wouldn't you say? Then switch. Okay. So you got one leg in neutral, one leg turned out. Okay. You got the hand doing the twist, reaching towards that heel behind you, and then this arm. And you can chop a couple times. What do I mean by chop? Well, nothing more than just you're just cutting this diagonal line. You could explore all kinds of lines. You could spiral into the back bend, but I'm saying for right now, just going forward and great. Vanessa, Carla, Lana, good work, team. Yes, excellent. Okay. Now, when you switch last time, we'll do Padikasana. So whichever side you're on, okay, so back knee down, extend this leg out. And in the Padikasana, what I like, of course, we can do, like this. See if you can use this block as a way, I hope you can see it, to create this tipping. Okay, so you have to kind of play with it. The idea is to lengthen, okay, lengthen the side chest through the armpit. So tip, reach, tip, tip, reach, touch the hands. Can you still tip the block a little more? And then push off the back shin, reach with the top arm, bring the block up with you. And however you like to switch. So I like the Parigasana jump switch. Okay, straighten the leg out, adjust the block so it's there. And if that didn't work, the tipping, you can be creative, see what works for you. Maybe a block on a block. Yeah, you could try it. Just experiment. These are just ideas. It's supposed to be playful in the sense that it's an open practice. Yeah. Okay, you can have the back shin down, toes tucked, your choice. Come up and over, find that block, and begin tipping. Tip, tip. So you lengthen. Okay. Lengthen the side trunk through the armpit. Tip the block, tip, reach, reach, tap, tip more. Push off the back shin foot. Come on up. Good job with that. Okay. Bend the knee. Okay. Now turn any which way on your mat. Use the blocks for downward facing dog. Okay. So blocks. Downward dog. She's snoring. This is so unusual. This is not her usual behavior to be hanging out from my practice, taking a nap right in front of me. Whatever you say, dog. You're the boss. All right. Forward and up. Upward dog. So come forward. Give a little squeeze to the buttocks. Tighten up the knees. Legs firm. Lower the hips down. Turn your upper arm bones out. Push the blocks down. Lift your chest. Shoulders away from ears. Chin away from chest. Push the block away. Lift your hips up. Back. Downward dog. All right, more interesting stuff now. I hope you're into it, that we kind of break the archetypes, or like the way I like to think of it is, I hope it's an okay reference, but it's kind of like a psychedelic trip into the classic archetypes of asanas and just going for a wild ride and just exploring. Yeah, just see what happens, what's familiar, what's unfamiliar, and keeping that yogic awareness to move with steadiness, with ease, and grounded in joy. I think that's what sthira sukham asanam translates to, at least in my rendering of the sutras, is practice is steady, effort is easeful, and the effort is grounded in joy. Okay, sukha, okay, happiness or joyfulness. All right, so cross the blocks like this. Okay, so you're going to be on your forearms here. Then straighten out the legs, and then see if you can rock side to side on your toes, outer edge of the foot, inner edge of the foot. Great. Then bend the knees in. I'm going to do my left side. Okay, is that okay if you roll on your left side like this? So from the Baddha Konasana position, have the left foot behind the right knee. Left arm is down. Do a couple shoulder shrugs. We did this earlier, but just now it's different, and we're going to add more to it. So press down, lift your hips up. Okay, move the hips, pelvis forward. Take the top arm up, overhead. Keep that bottom arm, elbow pressing down. Come down. Take a rest. Now lift up, lift the bottom leg up. Kick the bottom leg forward, take the top arm back. And come forward, opposite direction. Can you bring this knee behind the foot? And then back. Reach. Forward and maybe across the room at a diagonal. And then come back. And then rest. And then onto the other side. If you want to push, push, rotate. Here we are, the other side. Okay, so the backside view, you got the foot against ankle. First, press down, thrust pelvis, buttocks up. Come down, do it again. Pressing with the elbow, forearm keeps pushing down the whole time. Buttocks comes up, arm goes overhead. Come down. This time, we lift up. Bottom leg comes up, off the ground. Kick the leg out straight. Take the right arm, top arm back. Leg bends, thread through. Try to get the knee behind that foot without touching the ground. Top arm reaching, and then come back. One more time. Reach across the room somewhere. And then come back. Okay. Rotate again, back to here. So that was fun. And then back to first side. Okay. This time, straighten out the leg. So I'm on my left side. Left leg is down. Okay. I'm going to push up and come into a Marichyasana. Use the block any way you need to get the lift of the chest. Use the arm to get the turn of the chest. From Marichyasana 1, roll back. Turn the straight leg foot out. Lift the heel of the bent leg. Lift the hips. Take the top arm up, over. You can bend, hold the head, or extend the arm. Keep that bottom elbow, forearm pressing down. Shoulder away from ear. Come down. Push off the block. Come into Marichyasana. Spin. Marichyasana 3-ish. The arm wrapped around the knee instead of crossing over. Okay. Then back, roll back, turn the leg out, press the outer edge of the foot, lift the heel of the bent leg, take the top arm, circle it around, overhead, palm facing the ceiling. Look towards your hand behind you. Come back, bend the knees. See if you can do this army roll, commando roll underneath, and switch sides. Okay, so right leg will be straight, or opposite leg straight. Push off the blocks, come up, Marichyasana, open twist. You can use the block behind to lift, arm inside to twist and turn. Then rolling back onto forearm. Straight leg turns out, bent leg heel lifts. Push the forearm down, lift the hips up, arm up, hold your head. Let go of the head as an option. Then come down, push off the blocks, come upright, then twist Marichiyasana 3-ish, and then rotate back. Outer straight leg turns out, bent leg heel lifts. Take your arm up and cut that diagonal wherever you see the diagonal line. Down, great. Bend the knee, spin back, undo the blocks, downward dog. Straighten out the arms and legs. All right, so I think for the next series of sequences or poses, fold up the blanket like we did at the very start of the class, where the long, narrow fold. Hopefully it'll work for your legs and the movements. If it doesn't, you can open it up flat, okay? All right, here we go. Dog pose. Bend your right knee toward your chest. Okay. First, take the knee back, foot up behind you. Then take the knee out to the side, sometimes called dog at a fire hydrant. Then knee in towards chest. Let's do the opposite. So knee out to the side, knee back behind you. And this time when it comes forward, step your foot forward. Now you'll need to adjust the blanket. So see, when you bend the back knee, does it land on the blanket easily? Otherwise, scoot yourself forward, move the blanket back, straighten the back leg, bend the knee. Okay. Now push into the blocks and try to lift your back foot off the ground. Any amount, heel towards bum, contracting your hamstring. If you get a cramp, straighten the leg, okay, or just shake it out. Let's do it again. Bending the knee, lifting up. Now let's try it in upright position. So come upright, okay. You might need to use the blocks, all good, like this, okay, or hands on thigh, okay, and then see. Can you lift just the foot off the ground? Keep the tuck of the tailbone here, because it's a lot easier to extend in the spine to get this hip extension, foot coming in, but see if you can keep the spine from extending as you bend the knee more. Lift the foot up. All right, foot down, stay on this side, straighten the leg out. Okay, then knee down. Okay, now you're going to reach with the right hand back, lift the foot up. Okay, if you need to use a strap, I didn't mention it, but you could whip a belt or a shirt or a towel to catch the foot. Walk your right foot out to the side. I know there's a block there, all good. Left hand out. Let the knee move out. So you're doing this twist with the foot caught with the hand behind. Turn your chest. And then let go. Let's do a side angle pose. Straighten the back leg. Okay. So you're doing your classic Parsvakonasana position. Lower down. Straighten the back leg. Let's do a Parivrita Parshva. So you can have the knee down, twisting, or leg straight. Get that outer hip, the bent leg hip to move in. Straight leg heel to move back. Come down. See if you can hop switch. So a little jump, scissor kick the legs. Okay. Sound effects can help, so try it twice more. It's just a way to breathe through the dynamic movements. Okay, then back knee down, adjust as you need. If you'd like to do a little more, a deeper lunge, we didn't get to do it on the first side, but just getting the back leg hip flexor open. Then any position you like. You can be tall on the blocks, but you're just leaning forward right now. Then lift the back foot up, heel towards bum. Try to squeeze in more, just to the point where you feel, oh my gosh, my hamstring. And then straighten the leg out, lift the knee up. Then come upright position. You can be like this. You can have hands on tall height, fingertips, just lifting that foot up off the ground without going into an anterior tilt. So do your best to keep the buttocks in, a slight roundness in your lower back. Any amount you can lift foot up, heel towards bum, closer in, and then lower down, straighten the leg out. Again, we'll do if you want to move the block off to the side so the foot can come out. Right hand down, opposite arm back, catch for the foot. Let the front leg knee bend out to the side, back leg turning your chest. Come back, release, straighten out, adjust forward. Side angle pose, back leg straightening out, front leg stays bent, top arm up, overhead. Turn to face the floor, lift the back heel, Parivrita, so you can have the knee on the ground. I kind of like to start with the knee on the ground, get the chest to twist, and then work with the challenge of keeping that front hip down, straight the back leg. Come around, great. Okay. The foot, we didn't do the knee rotation, the hip rotation on the dog pose. That was my bad. Okay, so take the knee up. Okay, it's nice to come full circle. No errors in the playground. All right, take the knee out to the side. Fire hydrant dog. Knee thigh forward. Opposite direction. Knee or leg abducts out to the side. Bring it back behind you. And then straighten the leg down, foot to the ground. Good job with that. All right, raise your right leg up. Bend the knee. Swing the foot forward. Now, spin. So I'm on my, I hope it's not confusing for you all. That's why I try to wear a wristband on my right hand. It's my right side. So whichever side you're on, the back leg, spin the shin in. Spin the shin in. So we did our Parigasana earlier like this, okay, with the knee bent. Find this block inside the foot, move it back behind you. Okay. Similar to before, okay? Before it was this kind of a back bend. Now it's this kind of a back bend. Same position of the legs, just arms forward. Arm up, overhead, behind. If you want to try with straight leg, come up, straighten the leg out. Hand can be on block or on the ground. Okay. I like the rotational element in the twist here. So turning chest, turning head. You can hold head, then taking top arm back. You can hold head, turn, okay. Come upright, bend. Find the block if you're using it. Rotate back to the knee bent lunge position. Okay. Hop switch. Okay. Come up and spin your shin in through this. Earlier we did this. You can quickly do it again. It's a nice, gentler Parigasana. Then find the block inside. Take it back behind you. Reach with the left arm and over. You can always hold your head with the hand. Turn to face the floor. Come upright. Straighten out the leg. Toes can be up. Toes can be down. I'm going to keep them lifted. Right hand back. Turn to face the ground first. And then rotate. You can have your hand behind your head. Push the bottom hand down. Turn chest. Turn head. And then take the top arm up. Press with that bottom shin into the ground. Straight leg heel into the ground. Hold the head, turn, face down, push off the ground, come up, bend the knee using the block, turn around, downward facing dog. Okay, we have come fully standing, so let's just come full standing position, bend the knees, jump over the blanket, do the blocks, fold forward, Uttanasana. Hands to hips, either with knees bent or legs straight. Come on up, Tadasana, mountain pose. Just compose yourself here, standing upright. All right, and then through mountain pose, we'll do one standing pose in this. We did side angle, I guess, in standing pose, but upright standing. So balance on your left leg. Lift your right knee up. See if you can turn, hold your outer knee real quick, everyone. If you want to use a wall for balance, all good. Hold your outer knee and lift the foot, shin up. Squeeze more in the inner calf thigh. Rotate the leg out. Come back. Hold the inner knee, kick the foot and shin out. So the thigh bone feels like it's internally rotating. Okay. Hold, kick foot, shin up. Press the standing leg heel down. Grow tall from the crown of your head. Come back. Hands on hips. Move the knee back behind you. Tailbone forward. Try not to arch in your back as best as you can. Knee out to the side. Circle it around. Switch direction. This is the fun one. Knee out to the side. You can take your arms out for balance. Make a fist. Now, lift your foot, shin up. Inner rotate the thigh. Try not to let the knee drop. Good, Lana. That looks great. Good, Carla. Good, Vanessa. All of you got good internal rotation. Let's do it one more time. Okay, so up, out to the side. Okay, then slow motion. Try not to let the knee drop. Lift your foot up. Press the standing leg heel down. And then come back. Take the leg out straight. Any amount you can straighten it. And then lower it down. Whew, it's a lot of work. What standing pose were we doing? I don't know. I was going to go towards tree pose, Vrikshasana, but then I got more interested in the hip mobility. It's so much fun. So bend the leg, outer hand, a hand on the outer knee. So this is to keep the thigh from moving right now, side to side, for now. Okay? You could move it side to side. It feels kind of good. You can just try abduct, adduct, AB, AD, yeah? But then come back to center, hold the outer knee, and now lift foot, shin up. Squeeze more inner calf, inner thigh. Try to lift the foot up more. Hold the inner knee. Kick foot and shin out. Any amount internal rotation. Hold outer knee. Kick foot, shin up. Squeeze more. Press with a standing leg heel down. Grow tall from the crown of your head. Come back to center. Okay, if you need to let the leg rest, all good. Otherwise, knee and thigh back. Pause here. So notice when the knee goes back, does the tailbone follow? See if you can bring the knee forward, tailbone in, and then see how much hip extension you have, leg extension, without back extension. Not a whole lot. Then knee out to the side, forward, back. Good balance for the opposite leg also. Switch direction, so knee up, out to the side, pause. Without letting the knee drop, lift the foot, shin up. Any amount, internal rotation of the leg you can find. Then knee and thigh back, forward, up, out to the side. Inner rotate, front of the thigh. Kick the foot and shin up, knee and thigh back, and then leg out straight. Raise it up a little higher, lower it down. Walk around your mat for a moment, just to let the legs be relaxed. You can take funny steps, bending the knee, big steps like this. All right, now we'll do our Vrikshasana. All right, so standing on your left leg through Tadasana. Okay. If you can, I wish we had more time. I don't want to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours workshop with you. We would do it twice, right? But first round, if you can do it without catching your foot, foot to inner thigh. Did you get it, Carla? Ooh, yes, good job, yeah? Okay. Good. Now if you want to adjust, catch the foot, raise it up, inner thigh, all good. Thigh into foot, foot into thigh. Take the arms up, hook your thumb fingers, press the standing leg heel down, grow tall, lift your chest. Now can you play in tree pose? Okay, hold opposite wrists. Okay, you can hold your right wrist and lean to the side slightly. Leaning tree. Come up, join the palms. Now, just as carefully or mindfully as you got in, detach the foot, bring it forward, kick the leg out straight, circle the foot, ankle around, switch, and then come down. Also so great for the opposite, like the one that's helping you stabilize. So great for that buttock, the whole posterior chain down. That leg getting worked just by default for the balance. All right, here we go. So try your best not to catch the foot. How high can you get the foot up without holding the foot? Good job. And then hold the foot, catch to the inner thigh. Thigh bone into foot bone into thigh bone. Create that pressure, press the heel down, then make the trunk grow off the pelvis. Raise your arms up, hook your thumb fingers, lift your chest. So first upright tree, then swaying tree. Hold left wrist, lean to right side. Come up with control. You can join your palms together. Detach foot. Keep the foot lifted. Forward and straighten out the leg. Circle the foot or the ankle. Switch direction and then come down. Good job with that. Looked great, everyone. All right, so I don't think right now we need a blanket. Let's do like this. So from dog pose, okay, we're going to prep for what's called, so I don't know if you're familiar, but I don't know what you call Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, this position, plank, but I was taught that this is called Adho Mukha Dandasana, plank pose, okay? Downward facing staff or stick pose. Then do Parshva, so go to your left or whatever, go to whatever side, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to my left hand trying to mirror you, okay? Bring the right foot forward as a counterbalance, push with the left hand down, reach with the right arm up, overhead, then arm up, hand to hip, then see if you can lift this foot up and stack foot on top of foot. Good job. Arm up, overhead reach, okay, and then turn. It's almost like you drop, roll onto the side, onto the feet, and then without hitting my dog, I'm gonna come to the side, bring the top leg foot forward, top arm over, then with control, lift the foot, hover, stack foot on top, top arm up, overhead, and then turn, roll to face the floor, come back, downward dog. I'm sorry I keep asking you to get the blanket and not get the blanket. You don't have to use it, but we're going to kneel. We're going to put some pressure on the knees. So I think the blanket will be advantageous. So I apologize for the back and forth. Okay. Now we're going to do something fun and interesting if the rest hasn't been fun and interesting. Okay, so you're going to cross your right foot over on top of the knee. Okay? Then bend the knee, knee, foot, leg down to the ground. Okay, so like this. If this was a lot, you could cross behind. So this is also doable. Okay, like this. Okay, otherwise forward. Then use your blocks in front to bring yourself upright. So uncurl, tuck the tail in, lift your chest up, hands on hips. You know this pose, I think it's called Gorakasana, the cowherd's pose. Are you familiar with that? Yeah? It's a lot gnarlier than this because both legs are in Padmasana and you're trying to lift up. We're not going there, but just FYI. Now take right hand, okay, back behind you with the block or option to reach for that heel. Buttocks goes forward, top arm goes up and over. What a weird, cool twist through the back bend. And then come up. You have to let the pelvis go back slightly. Use your hands on the ground. Push. Keep the leg crossed. Lift up. Can you go back to dog pose with the legs crossed? Go forward to a plank. Adho Mukha Dandasana with legs crossed. Try upward dog. Use the foot against thigh to create that tension. Spread the pelvis. Back to plank. Back to downward dog. And then uncross. Straighten out the legs. So that whole sequence, originally I'd planned for twice, which is generally a good way to progress. And the first round, you can try with me real quick. Same side, you can cross foot behind the knee. Okay, so This would be the regression of all of that. Foot down, behind knee, come up, do twist this way. You can do twist this way. We're just going quickly so you have an idea, something to play with. Okay. Then you got the plank, you got the upward dog. The difference is that the foot is behind the knee. All right, opposite side. Okay. Let's do progression. Why not? So cross the foot behind the knee real quick. Bend the knee shin down. Okay. Use your blocks, lift up. This should feel a lot easier. We'll do second round with foot in front. Block behind you. Hand to foot, hand to block. Turn your chest. Come around, come forward. Bend a little to come forward and down. Then straighten the leg out. Move back to dog pose. Foot is behind the knee. See if you can wrap the toes around the outer knee shin. Come to the plank. Upward dog. Plank. Downward dog. Foot on the ground. Repeat, but a little more next level. Yeah. So cross foot in front of knee and thigh, or above knee, bottom of thigh. Then go forward, bend the knee down, foot down. Walk your blocks back, and then when you push the hands down, lift your chest up, let your buttocks move in, buttocks forward. So you got this Baddha Konasana or Padmasana like sensation in one leg. Then we're going to add a twist. So we're just going to right hand. So opposite hand, I'm sorry. I'm getting tripped out by my own sequence. Doesn't really matter. So we're going to do both sides. So reach for opposite hand to foot behind, arm over, circle around. Same hand, same foot, arm over, circle around. No errors, no mistakes in the playground. Okay? We just avoid painful sensations, that's all. All right, so now coming forward, stay crossed, okay? Straighten out the back leg, keep the leg crossed, move back to dog pose with a figure four shape. Come forward through the plank, upward dog, back to downward dog, straighten out the legs. Don't worry about the blanket at this point, just let it be. All right, so back to Adho Mukha Dandasana, okay? Roll over onto whichever side helps you face me, okay? So we're gonna do side plank again. Say left hand here. Then, like you did tree pose, lift the foot, bend the knee, stick the foot to the inner upper thigh. Didn't need to catch the foot, did you? And take your top arm up, overhead. Lift your bottom hip up, way up. Turn your chest. Modified Vashisthasana. Straight up the leg. Roll over through control, with control. Roll to the side. Okay. Lift without catching. If you need to catch ankle, go for it. Bring it in to the inner thigh. And notice how the thigh drops down, all good. Then lift up. Take your top arm up, hip up, arm back. If you want to hold your head, try turning your chest. Oh my gosh. Arm over. And now detach foot, straighten leg with control. Come back. Child's pose with knees wide. We're not quite done yet. Head can be on block or head turned to the side. Arms behind you. All right, come forward, come up, almost done. Everyone, I didn't ask for a bolster, but if you'd like to have, first, without the bolster, let's see. Okay, so I'm a big fan of, so active, passive stretching is like, when you use anything external, it could be your own body to stretch a certain part of the body, right? So usually passive stretches, the wall can be a prop, any prop we use, but we're allowing for an sort of an external support. Here's the hand to foot to get a deep knee flexion through this hip extension, and I can bring my heel to the bum, right? Feels great. Okay. Now I want to see how much can I do that on my own, okay, without using my hand. So tuck your tail in, try not to tilt in the pelvis like this. In fact, do the opposite. Okay. Lift up, any amount, heel to bum. That's all I got. Then come down, do a quick Uttanasana in between. Opposite side. So first passive, bend, catch, nice stretch for that front quad, heel to bum. Feels great using the support of the hand to bend the knee quite a bit, quite deep end range here. Then let go. Let's try it again, but without using the hand. So whatever amount you got, that's what counts. Doesn't matter how far. Heel towards bum, tailbone in. If you want to make it more intense, try to lean back with the chest and head. Oh my gosh. Then come down, quick Uttanasana. Straighten out the legs. And now find your bolster prop if you have one. If not, it will totally work without. All good. Okay, so I'll just, I know you can't see the most important part, which is my shins. That is a long nap for my doggy. Oh no, check in with her later. Oh, now you move. Okay, so I'll just be over here. All right, so we're doing Ustrasana and then we'll wind down. Okay, I know the time is such, we'll on time, but finishing time. So we could close practice now, but why not keep going? Okay, so if you're with me here, you're gonna do Ustrasana like this. I don't know if you've tried it this way or not. It's interesting with the feet lifted. Okay, so hopefully this is comfortable for your knees and shins. Feet lifted, buttocks down, buttocks in. Then either one hand or both hands reach back towards the heels, press the tops of the ankles, feet into the bolster, lift the chest, arch your back. Then untuck or tuck your chin, and then you can sit in between the buttocks. Okay. Now we're gonna do let's just do it again. So you can hold the heels, try it this way, lift the hips, keep holding the heels. Doesn't matter if the hips come over the knees, but try to move the hips forward, roll your arm bones out, spread your chest. You can look forward if that's better, or untuck, look behind you. And then tuck the chin, round the back, come down. Now twisting camel. This is one of my favorites, yeah? So same hand to same corresponding foot, you can hold the sole of the foot or heel, take the opposite arm, circle it around, overhead, and then you start to spiral. Turn your chest up to the ceiling, arm back. And spiral, bend, fold. You can join the palms in between. Then left hand, same foot, lift up, go forward, add twist, the rotation, then turn your chest, opening up. Come back, bend, join. Now, if you'd like to continue without bolster, you can certainly do without, okay? So as long as it feels good. And with the Ustrasana, so we did same hand, same foot, okay? You have option to, okay, do opposite hand if you want to challenge yourself, okay? Where's that opposite foot? You can tuck the toes under if that's better. Opposite hand, opposite foot, sit in between. Opposite hand, opposite foot, turning the chest and make that circle big with the arms. I'll show it from back view, okay? So I lift up. Tops of the feet is pretty challenging. I'll do it because it's fun. I have very long arms also. So if you'd rather tuck the toes, or sometimes I like to sneak a block to the foot. So you can sneak a block to the foot, make your foot bigger. Then bend, pass the block around, block to foot, okay? And then reach back. Otherwise, hand to foot or heel. Okay, let's just go for the heel like this. Lift, spiral around, look back behind you. And bend, come around, push, spiral around. Last one here. Come around, bend. And now knees apart, feet down. Okay, do a twist with the block behind you. Just turn any which way. And twist the other way. So feet together, knees apart. Then do the same twist, but you're going to come forward. Okay, you can bring the knees a little closer in. Use the block, okay, between thigh and arm. See if you can get the back of the arm against the block there. Join your palms, and then turn your upper chest. Good. And then let go of the twist, hold the block, come up. So any height of the block, flat works. I'm a fan of also the narrow, middle facet, middle and long, arm up. Inhale, exhale, bend. Try to get the back of the arm, tricep to elbow there against the block. Then press the palms, press into the block, thigh into block, turn your chest. And then come down. Let's just do one more twist with legs straight. It's folding forward, so Uttanasana, but twisting. So again, we'll do this tipping of the brick maneuver. So I'll just show from the side. So have the blocks to one side. I'm just going to stop the mirroring business. Okay. So catch opposite foot, opposite ankle. You got a block here for the tipping. The foot that you're holding onto, bend that knee and tip this block away from you, getting that armpit chest open as you twist. Then come back to center. Switch. So opposite foot. You can catch ankle, outer ankle, calf. Bend the knee that the foot you're holding. Reach with the block and see if you can create that rocking with the block, tipping. Get that side chest, armpit chest open as you twist. Then come back, right? Face whichever way is squared for you. Come down. We're going to sit in Upavishta. Let's just use, you can use a bolster if the block just don't work for this, but sit wide, tuck the buttocks under or move the buttock bones back. So untuck. So narrow, long block all the way into pubic bone should feel good. Okay, so adjust if it doesn't, use padding with a blanket if it doesn't. Feels good for me. And then if you can pick your abdomen, any flesh there, up and over, and then block for your head. Now, if the block against pubic bone is not touching your abdomen, switch to a bolster instead. Bolster can be quite nice. And you really got to, lack of a better word, shove it in or jam it in there. Feels good against the abdomen after some back bending, and you can do something like this. Okay, so that's the bolster. I like the block, it's quite firm. Block against pelvis and abdomen, block against head, reach the hands towards the feet, and be in this Adho Mukha position, downward facing, Upavishta, legs wide. Take a long breath in through the nose, soft, smooth inhalation out. And hands underneath, push, lift up, hold the inner knees, cross the legs, go forward. If you want to use a block for the head, all good. Should not hurt your knees. If it does, just repeat the Upavishta, folding forward again. Come back, push off the floor, uncross, recross, opposite leg shin in front. Walk your fingertips forward so you get the waist, chest to extend forward first. Then bend the arms, tuck the chin, or let the head release to some support. Press off, lift up. Okay. Now we're going to rest on our backs. We're pretty much done with practice. I'm just going to show a fun way. Just be careful. Again, whenever I say careful, I just mean full of care. Doesn't mean like something dangerous is about to happen. So I'm just going to show a quick little Setu Bandha with option for Viparita Krani, with option for Halasana. So if it makes sense, follow along. I'm using the two blocks first. Again, underneath the feet. Okay, I know you can't see because of my sweet dog here. Okay, but shoulders over the blankets. So I'm just going to do a quick demo first, so you just have an idea what's going on. Then I'll do it with you again. Otherwise, just go into some restorative position to end your practice. It could be Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana, legs up the wall, whatever you like, or Shavasana if you're ready. Here we go. Just watch real quick. So first, this tall Setu Bandha. Then I take the hand back underneath so I can hold the outer hip sacrum region. I turn the hands, fingers towards feet. Then I see, can I lift one foot up, lift the other foot up? So then it's hand supported viparita krani. So we'll be here. Then I let myself come into a bit of a karnapidasana, okay, but the blocks are a little far from me. So I'm going to come back, okay, bring the blocks in because I want to find those blocks. Okay, push myself up, okay, find the blocks. Through the karnapidasana, I swing the arms around and use the tops of the feet to rest the blocks for this halasana. So it's just one way to get into this, yeah? And then when it's time to come out, watch, I take the blocks behind, I move one block all the way up to my chest, the other block down to land on, and they can be on different heights. This one's on second height, this one's on flat height, and this is the resting pose. It's like a cascading little bridge pose here. All right, so I'll run it through with you again. If you'd like to do it, great. Just have the blocks a little close to your feet so you can reach for them when you throw the legs overhead. Go into Setu Bandha bridge pose. You can stay in bridge pose or use your hands. You have to kind of lean to one side, get one arm, hand underneath, lean to the other side, hand underneath. This feels quite nice for wrist and chest open. So you can just stay here. Otherwise, turn your hands so your fingers are pointing towards your knees or your calves. Then lift one leg up, in towards the chest. Other leg up. Definitely requires some wrist strength, pressing the elbows through the ground, and then raise your legs up. Good, Carla. Good catch. Good attempt, Lana. That was good. So stay in Viparita Krani or Sarvangasana. Otherwise, bend the knees to your chest. Make sure you're able to reach your arms behind you to find those blocks, swing them around, and then adjust so the tops of the feet can land on some height of the blocks, flat or middle height. And then arms can just be overhead or relaxed kind of halasana position. It's not a long hold. Just take a long breath in, smooth breath out. Then when it's time to transition, bend the knees through the Karnapidasana, hold your blocks. There's a little bit of balance required, so keep holding on to one block, take the other block behind you, move it up all the way up to your back, and then bring the other block around, turn it on its second height. So when the hips come down, there's something for the block to land on the hips. Upper back shoulder supported, tops of the shoulder supported with the blanket, and this is our resting end of class position. If you'd rather do a different position, go for it. Just allow for the effort of the practice to dissolve. Let go from all the instructions, new or familiar, all the movements we explored, new or familiar. Let it all go. Be light, loose, rested, relaxed. If you're liking this cascading Setubandha, great. Otherwise, transition to a regular Shavasana by lifting the hips, D-brick, bricks behind buttocks, lift your head, remove the blanket behind the head, off the shoulders, behind the neck and head. And then you got this nice Shavasana situation with the blocks behind thighs, close to the buttocks. Let go everywhere, let loose everywhere. Take a soft, long breath in, smooth, even exhale out. Letting go, letting loose, resting. Stay rested. If you'd like to do a simple breathing pattern with me, place your fingertips on ribs or abdomen, contact with the diaphragm as you move with the breath. Exhale your breath out first, gently seal your lips. Softly inhale through the nose, full, long, maximum inhalation, filling up your lungs all the way to the top of the chest. Pause when you get to the top, hold. Taking a little bit more sip of air, inhale, and then cross over to the exhale. Long, smooth, complete exhalation now. Do that twice more. Soft, steady, slow inhalation, filling up your lungs all the way to the top. You feel your chest full. Pause. Inhale a little more, and then cross over to the exhale. Exhale, releasing all the air out, emptying the lungs, deflating the diaphragm. Last time we'll do. Soft, steady, smooth inhalation, filling up your lungs all the way to the top. Maximum breath in. Pause when you're at the top. Hold your breath. Sip a little more, inhale, and then exhale everything out. Let your arms relax. Rest again. And stay rested much longer if you like. Otherwise, I'm going to close out practice. So bend your legs, remove the blocks to the side. Stretch your arms and legs opposite direction like you're getting up out of bed, like a yawning stretch. And then bend the knees, turn to one side, rest against the floor for a moment. Push off the ground, bring yourself upright. Okay, sit in any position that's comfortable for you. Jaw on your palms. Just take a moment to compose yourself, collect yourself. The effort and awareness of the practice. So off the mat and into your day, you can stay composed within, connected with your breathing. All right, thank you